Hello, Morongo Basin, and listeners around the world online at Z107.7fm.com. Here is the Z107.7 local news for Tuesday, June 2nd, 2026. A Yucca Valley woman was arrested for investigation into charges related to child abuse. On Wednesday at around 3 p.m., San Bernardino County Sheriff's deputies responded to a home in the 6400 block of Hermosa Avenue in Yucca Valley. The Sheriff's Department says that a court-appointed mandated reporter assigned to the children in the home reported an incident of abuse. The Sheriff's Department identified the suspect as Alexandria Perry, 30. They say she hit two children with an object. One of the children was her own and the other was the child of her boyfriend. The children were checked by medical personnel and Perry was taken into custody. Alexandria Perry was arrested for investigation into 3 charges related to child abuse. She was booked into the Morongo Basin Jail and has since been released on bail. A mobile home was considered a total loss after a fire in Johnson Valley. Yesterday at around 6 p.m., San Bernardino County fire crews responded to a report of a house fire in the 58,000 block of Ocotillo Road in Johnson Valley. County Fire says that the fire was in a remote area, and by the time they arrived, the single-wide mobile home was a total loss. 100 feet of vegetation was also burning. 3 county fire engines responded to the scene in addition to 2 crews from CAL FIRE. The blaze was extinguished by 8 p.m. County Fire says no one was injured during the fire. The cause of the fire is not being investigated as suspicious. California voters have an opportunity to weigh in on local elections and primaries today, as our state holds our direct primary elections. Primaries are happening in congressional races, local county positions, and there are 24 candidates running to serve as California's governor. The 2 candidates who receive the most votes in today's primary will head to the November ballot. Ballots have been delivered, and early voting has already been happening across San Bernardino County. Today is Election Day. You can cast your ballot in person or drop off a mailed, completed ballot at any voting site or ballot boxes across our area. There are a number of locations to vote in person or drop off a ballot, and you can find your local polling place at elections.sbcounty.gov or call 909-387-8300. Last week, the Bureau of Land Management approved the construction of a controversial telecommunications tower in Morongo Valley after nearly 4 years of community pushback. Local group Residents Against the Tower, or RAT, has recently acquired nonprofit status and have renamed themselves Friends of Morongo Valley. They held their first community meeting over the weekend to discuss next steps, including fundraising to hire an attorney for federal litigation. Reporter Gabriel Hart was there and joins us with this recap.
Friends of Morongo Valley President Sarah Fernandez and Secretary-Treasurer Kimberly Kyleback spoke to a packed house in Covington Park last Saturday, where they laid out their plan to fight the Interconnect telecommunications tower in this final stretch. To bring attendees up to speed, Fernandez and Kyleback gave a brief history of the opposition. In 2022, BLM first notified the public of their intention to downgrade viewshed protections for the 196-foot tower, and the public responded with 180 letters raising environmental and safety concerns. In 2024, BLM released their environmental assessment, to which the public responded with 1,042 substantive comments plus a 30-page attorney letter to express unresolved concerns. Last February, BLM moved the tower site 800 feet and released a final EA, to which the community submitted 57 letters of protest, including a 60-page legal protest, economic study, historic nomination, expert wildfire report, and radio frequency expert report. While the BLM has approved the tower as of last week, there is a 30-day appeal window. Friends of Morongo Valley now aim to file a notice of appeal to the Interior Board of Land Appeals, petition for a stay to halt project construction during appeal, file a federal complaint in Central District Court, then file an injunction to maintain status quo during the lawsuit. Friends of Morongo Valley said, quote, We've spoken with dozens of attorneys and environmental groups who've indicated that we've got a reasonable chance of prevailing in court, unquote. The nonprofit must now fundraise an estimate of $100,000 to litigate and have already raised $73,000. While BLM's press release states their, quote, approval advances efforts to modernize telecommunications infrastructure for nearby communities, unquote, Fernandez said there's already the Middle Mile Network initiative near completion that would render this angle superfluous.
There are dead zones in that canyon, and currently the state of California has this whole initiative called the Middle Mile Network, and what they're doing is along state highways throughout the state of California, Caltrans is installing infrastructure to existing utility poles where new fiber optic cable is being installed, electronics, and basically the infrastructure needed so that carriers like AT&T, Verizon, etc. can easily connect and add small cell transponders for 5G and whatnot without having to build a whole new tower. So I corresponded with Caltrans just last week, and they gave me an update that they intend to be ready to connect by the end of 2026. That's this year. The fiber optic up Morongo grade to our town will be installed, and carriers will be able to apply to locate on those existing utility poles, just like a carrier would approach Interconnect and ask to be located on his tower.
Kaubach added that the comments they received from environmental groups for Morongo Valley residents thus far has been especially encouraging.
Gotten a lot of feedback from environmental organizations saying this is fantastic. We've never seen the community come together like this. This is amazing. And it's really worth noting that the longer we can delay, the better our chances of this entire project being redundant and unprofitable to build.
In the meeting's handout, Friends of Morongo Valley state that, quote, Interconnect Towers LLC is counting on our community to give up and not challenge this approval. But we believe they have underestimated us. Our community defeated Green Path North in 2010, then went on to help establish the Sand and Snow National Monument in 2016, unquote. Reporting for Z107.7 News, I'm Gabriel Hart.
The High Desert Water District meets in regular session tomorrow. On their agenda is a public hearing about the Regional Urban Water Management Plan. They will also receive an update on the Front Western Hills Booster Station Rehabilitation Project. The High Desert Water District meets tomorrow at 4 p.m. at their office located at 55439 29 Palms Highway in Yucca Valley. The Joshua Basin Water District meets in regular session tomorrow. On their agenda is a public hearing on their Urban Water Management Plan and Water Shortage Contingency Plan. The board will also consider the district's employee compensation and revise their budget for the upcoming fiscal year. The Joshua Basin Water District meets tomorrow at 5 p.m. at their office at 61750 Choita Road in Joshua Tree. An original comedy, Fortress, by Sherry Ann Greer, debuts at Theater 29 on June 12th. Arts and entertainment reporter Charlie Thomas strums his lute for this medieval farce with modern themes.
An original play that premiered over 3 decades ago is being brought back to life by the author Sherry Ann Greer, who will also direct the work at Theater 29 with performances June 12th through 28th. Greer, who recently relocated to Yucca Valley from the Los Angeles area, reminisces that the world premiere in the mid-1990s of the play was not quite what she had anticipated, saying,
Fortress was the first play of mine to be professionally produced way back in 1994 at the Melrose Theater in Hollywood. Though I was an experienced actress, I was a novice playwright and thought it best to follow the common wisdom of having someone else direct the work. And it went okay. We got good reviews. But for me, the comic tone was off, and it felt like a missed opportunity. I threw the play in a box and went on to other things. Restaging Fortress here at Theater 29 has been such a blessing. I am finally seeing the show as I intended it.
Set in a small mythical village known as Bromleyshire, England, Fortress follows Lord Bromley and Lady Magdalena as their starving village descends into a riot. Ill-equipped to lead, Bromley raids a neighboring duke while ignoring the deeper causes of unrest. While the duke arrives with exploitative demands, the couple scrambles for solutions, turning to increasingly desperate and unconventional methods. Greer has assembled a cast of experienced actors along with one newcomer to bring her dream to life. Michael D. Simpson is Lord Bromley, Rebecca Ossier plays Lady Magdalena, Stormy Ingram takes on Charity while J.T. Eberhardt is Marshall, Kevin A. Hales the Duke, and Anna Lacazio makes her stage debut in the role of Kate. Fortress will open Friday, June 12th and run weekends through June 28th. The opening night gala is a fundraiser for the 29 Palms Food Pantry with tickets available by calling Lori Cosgrove at 760-361-3663. After opening night, all tickets are available at theater29.org. Fortress is proudly supported by a grant from Visit 29. Reporting for Z107.7, this is Arts and Entertainment reporter Charlie Thomas.
And finally, it's graduation week at the Morongo Unified School District. As part of the last week of school, our 3 local high schools are holding graduation ceremonies, and a number of classes are holding promotion ceremonies. Black Rock High School is holding their graduation ceremony today at 7 p.m. Tomorrow morning, Morongo Valley Elementary School is holding their kindergarten promotion and awards at 9 a.m. Condor Elementary School is holding their kindergarten promotion at 9:15 a.m. For the full graduation and promotion schedule, see this story at Z107.7fm.com. We'll have updates throughout the week. That's our local news. Hear local news 7 times a day, 7 days a week at 7, 8, 9, noon, 4, 5, and 6. Reporting for the Morongo Basin News Leader, the award-winning Z107.7 Local News, I'm News Director Jeff Harmatz.